Thank you for being with us this morning. I have a major announcement with regard to the labor issue. It is with a certain sense of seriousness that I have to announce that Izzy Laurent is retiring today. Marks his 15th anniversary as a dedicated city employee, and all these folks wanted to come out and recognize him. Now we're going to talk about Izzy in a few minutes. In a more serious way, at the start of this new year, it's certainly a tremendous pleasure to be able to make an announcement with regard to an arbitration award involving our very brave Philadelphia Fire Department and firefighters. Pleased to be joined by our Deputy Mayor for Public Safety and Chief of Staff, Everett Gillison, the Director of Public Safety, Mike Resnick, the Fire Commissioner, Derek Sawyer, President of Local 22, Firefighters Union, Joe Schulle, and the Chief Negotiator for the city, Shannon Farmer, and the Chief Negotiator for the Firefighters, Joe Cleary. A ton of other great public servants, folks in the Mayor's Office, Labor Relations, Law Department, Finance Department, and many, many others deserve great thanks for us being here today as well. The arbitration award signed by the arbitrator this morning helps to ensure that the city government's interest in long-term sustainability and reform is in place. It meets the members' interests in terms of pay and benefits, which enables them to continue to take the incredible personal risks that they do each and every day on behalf of the citizens of Philadelphia. And of course, equally important, it advances the taxpayers' interest in terms of affordability. I believe that the Philadelphia Fire Department, the Philadelphia firefighters, the brave men and women who wear the uniform, are the best trained and highest performing public servants in the nation in their work. And we want to thank them for what they do each and every day for all of us and the risks that they take. On Monday at 10 a.m. in this room, we will hold the memorial service for Lieutenant Joyce Craig, who gave everything to the city that she loved and to her fellow firefighters. Her memory will always be in our hearts. Every day, firefighters, paramedics, and EMTs, our first responders, face grave danger on behalf of all of the rest of us. And so today, we announce the terms of an arbitration award that propels our city into labor management structure for the 21st century, one that manages costs while providing the means to help our brave firefighters to stay healthy while improving their fitness for the very dangerous jobs that they do every day. I say all of this because I think some folks might lose sight of the true level of cooperation and partnership that exists between Local 22 of the International Association of Firefighters and our city administration. Certainly, we have had some disagreements and disputes over the last 7 years, but we have always, always, always been partners in public safety. Getting signatures on a contract often does take some time, and often a little longer than any of us would like. But getting it done right is the most important for our city's future. Joe Schulle and his team have been champions and true leaders in representing their members. But they have also been most reasonable partners in this process. And I want to publicly thank Joe Schulle and the entire leadership and the membership of Local 22, the firefighters of the city of Philadelphia, and they deserve a huge round of applause. They have been true professionals in their advocacy for their members, and not just with regard to pay and benefits, but also with training and equipment and the safety of their members as well. And for our part, I said 7 years ago that a critical part of mayoral leadership, as I defined it, was the search for labor contracts that would be good for the members and good for the taxpayers at the same time. It takes a significant amount of balancing all of those interests. That these agreements are intended to also be sustainable for the future. We needed to turn, if you might say, a huge ship of state in a new direction on critical issues like health care, pensions, and work rules. I grant you that this process, quite frankly, has not always been pretty. In the heat of battle, sometimes things are said, but never, ever, in any way, shape, or form, were any of those comments to be disrespectful to our great hero public servants. These were only issues about costs and reforms, the things that we needed to do to maintain the fiscal integrity of our city. I value the incredible and valiant service of our firefighters, our paramedics, our EMTs, our first responders, and again, they deserve all of our support and our thanks. With this award today, we demonstrate our continued commitment to change, a commitment to changing the structure for future taxpayers, and we have methodically, thoughtfully, and consistently worked toward that goal. With this award today, the city now has in place contracts with all 4 of our major unions of our public employees. And I wanted to note that in keeping with our concern for the future, we were also able to structure these contracts in a way that I believe is important for the next mayoral administration when they take office about a year from now. And while the DC 33 contract will expire on June 30th, 2016, the contracts presently in place for the FOP, firefighters, and District Council 47 all expire on June 30th, 2017, thus giving the new mayor a chance to set his or her priorities and have some time to plan. This was an important issue for me. Having gone through this experience, having watched the city's process over the last 30 years, it's very clear that coming into office in January and having 4 major contracts all expire in 6 months does not necessarily put either of the parties in the best possible situation. So now the term of this contract runs from July 1st, 2013 through, as I noted, June 30, 2017. The award provides wage increases of 3% on July 1, 2013, 3% on July 1, 2014, and 3.25% on July 1st, 2015. Finally, there will be a reopener on economic terms in 2016. Our preliminary estimate of the cost for this contract is about $70 million over the course of the 5-year plan. There certainly will be a challenge to fit these costs into our budget and plan, but as we have in the past, we will work through that. I want to focus my attention on a handful of areas that I believe will help our firefighters do an even higher quality of work while the department can better manage their city resources. In terms of healthcare costs, the union's healthcare fund will adopt aggressive wellness and disease management programs similar to the FOP's healthcare plans already in place. The union fund will be responsible for the first $15 million in plan costs in terms of benefits and administration. The Firefighters Union Health Fund will then be self-insured, again similar to the FOP's plan, and will spend down $15 million from the union's health fund resources. This will clearly benefit the taxpayers of the City of Philadelphia. A similar structure put in place with the FOP in 2009 and 2010, we saved the city roughly $70 million in health care costs. The appeal of the last award was driven largely by the health care fund's fairly high costs. With these changes, we are taking steps to ensure that that is not the case in the future. But we're also putting in place a major wellness and fitness program for members of Local 22 in the workplace, something that the city has sought for more than a decade. These wellness programs, complete with periodic medical examinations and incentives to get healthy, should do two things: help reduce or control our healthcare costs in the years to come, and help our firefighters to improve their health as they work on the dangerous fire ground. It's something that will benefit them and increase overall public safety. We've also developed a more comprehensive and clear discipline code, which will improve the transparency and the perception and reality of fairness in the disciplinary process. The award also creates an expedited arbitration procedure for discharge or suspension cases. We expect this new system to be more efficient, I think most importantly, more fair, and generally improve the administration of labor management relations. And like an FOP award earlier, the panel has created a pathway for firefighters also to potentially live outside the city. This is something on which I did dissent, but we are not and cannot appeal that particular provision. Firefighters will be able to live outside the city after 5 years of service. Our general experience with the same provision over on the police side is that a very, very, very small number of Philadelphia police officers have actually utilized that particular provision. With that, I'd be glad to take any questions from the media about this particular announcement of this firefighter arbitration award today. Sure.
I guess I'll talk into this real quick. Before I answer any questions, I really don't have a statement prepared, but I do want to echo the sentiments of the mayor. His team has worked professionally and courteously throughout this entire process. Although it was a long and arduous process, it never really became overly contentious, and I think it is a credit because it is a lot of pressure and a lot of stress in working to resolve these issues. Okay. Can I shake your hand one more time?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Just think if he had prepared a statement. It was excellent. Any other questions on this? Okay. All right. Well, while we're here, I do seriously have a citation for Itzhak Laurent. We'd like to take an opportunity to thank him for his past years of excellent workmanship, dedication, and loyalty. Today, I write at this time on your retirement to express our appreciation for your valuable contribution that you've made to the City of Philadelphia. Your efforts and achievements are appreciated by your colleagues as well. This 9th day of January 2015 marks an ending to one goal and begins a new path for future endeavors. It's fitting and appropriate, therefore, that the City of Philadelphia officially recognize with this citation Itzhak Laurent and congratulate him for 15 years of dedicated service to the City of Philadelphia. This is personally signed by me. Congratulations, sir, and thank you. Izzy, do you wish to speak into the microphone system that you've been operating for 15 years? Everything's in good working order. With that in mind, thank you again very, very much for coming today. Great day for the firefighters. Thank you.